All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this new edition of the Dirtyard Dish. My name is Josh Hart. I'm a former Wiffle player for Circle City, and I'm joined by my good friend Keegan Coy as we are going to be doing team previews for the 8 Balls and Yakkers today. I hope everybody's staying safe out there with this coronavirus going on, doing proper social distancing. Hopefully, we can bring you a little bit of entertainment this afternoon or evening whenever you're listening. We're just going to do a little back and forth today with the team previews. Keegan's going to take the lead on that. About halfway through, we got a very special Mount Rushmore of things we miss about wiffle ball, and we're just going to go from there.
I can't wait to get back on the road again. Back again. Dude, like from the baggers. Back home again. Back home again. In Indiana land.
So, first off, Keegan, how are you doing today? I know you're excited to get into your team previews, but
we're doing great. Just dropped a cool $250 at Costco. So my day could have been a little bit better, I guess. Got to see a little bit of sunshine. Gonna go out on a nice walk/run by the canal. Make some chicken fried rice for dinner. So it'll be a good day for sure. Yeah.
Weather's fantastic up here. Glad to hear you're doing well. I believe we both agreed pre-hand we want to do the 8 balls first, maybe. So I know you did a lot of work preparing. So what do you got for us on the 8 balls?
Yeah, let's rock and roll with the 8 balls. So 8 balls, they got 4-man roster made up of Zach McFarland, Mike Speak Sr., Mike Speak Jr., and Connor Morris. We'll just kind of break down each player one by one. We'll start with McFarland. So some changes were made in the offseason. McFarland gave up his head coaching duties. There's been a lot of talk.
I didn't know he was a coach in the first place, but that's interesting.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk that he couldn't handle the pressure of being a coach, and he was forced to step down. And Senior took over, and so it'll be a nice change in leadership for them coming off a title. Zach's definitely the worst player on their team, which says something about their team. Zach's not a bad player. He's a good player. Played on the national team before. He's played in several all-star games. It more so speaks to the quality of players that are on their team than Zach just not being good. So the other thing about Zach, he's famous for his goggles. He's got to be up there with Horace Grant as far as top sports players of all time who wear goggles. I mean,
oh yeah, Horace Grant reminds me of the 90s. One question I had for you about the 8 balls is they have been successful since the moment they walked into this league. They may have won the title last year. I didn't really check.
Yeah, they did. They won.
Okay.
It wasn't close.
So Pat Riley, I guess we've all been watching The Last Dance. He has this famous thing called the disease of more. Like once you win enough, people on the team that wins, people will start wanting more than winning. And in wiffle ball's case, it could be extra at bats, more pitching, or just the desire maybe to get greedy or selfish. Do you think, especially how the team seems to be divided into pairs with Morris and McFarland and then the tight-knit senior and junior, do you think there's any possibility of the disease of more coming up with success maybe getting a little boring for the 8 balls?
I don't know about boring per se. I know so they usually will let McFarland throw a game. And I mean, I know Blake and I last year when I was on the Moonshots, which the Moonshots can go to hell. We'll go ahead and just say that right now. But I was on the Moonshots last year. It was clearly a very amicable breakup. So me and Blake took down the 8 balls by ourselves last year.
Hey,
probably.
Sorry to cut you off. What percent of the Circle City Wiffle Ball League do you think can spell the word amicable?
Less than 50. Less than 50.
Less than 50. Okay.
100. Right. Yeah, I would bet good money on that.
All right, just checking there. Sorry to cut you off. You can keep going about the 8 balls.
Yeah, so McFarland pitched that game that we were beating him, and he's not a bad pitcher. Again, he just struggles to hit the zone. So it'll be interesting to see if, with Senior's leadership, if they go back to junior. and senior throwing one versus spreading the wealth and letting everybody get some action as far as pitching goes.
I gotcha. Last question on the 8 balls here before I do our Mount Rushmore for the day.
Well, I still got to go over the rest of the team, brother. We still got 3 other players.
My bad. Maybe I'm too addicted to the clock here. I did want to, maybe this will lead into your evaluation of Morris, so you can just go off from there. But who is this Morris guy? Is he good enough that other people might try to poach him? Does he have any kind of relationship with the core 3, or what do you know about him?
So that's a great questions. The answer is don't know much about him at all. Last year was his first year, I believe, and I mean he's already made himself like a household name as far as like hitting goes in the league. I mean he's one of the best hitters in the league. He's a good lefty bat. He literally, I mean, I've got him up there with Holden as far as like words spoken during a season. I mean I can't think of the time that I had a conversation with the guy. But he's been very nice. He doesn't talk much trash as far as I remember. But he's good. Other teams definitely want to poach him for sure. Whether they would be able to get him away from senior and junior and Zach, I don't know because I don't really know what their relationship with him is.
One interesting thing that just pops into my head talking about poaching players is there a world where somebody could speak in senior and junior from breaking up? I know that's a wild theory, but wilder things have happened in sports. You never know. Would junior want to break off and try to start his own team and maybe do a little father-son challenge battle? I don't know. I think that potentially could be fantastic for the league in terms of a narrative standpoint. But do you think that's possible, or is Josh just dreaming here?
I'm thinking that it's more likely a dream. I know that Junior's wanting to pull off the whole like LeBron plays with Bronny thing. So he's got a young kid, and they've already talked about like if senior's going to be able to make it to where they can all 3 play on the same team, to have like a straight up whole 3 generations of Speaks on a team.
Oh, yeah. How old is his son? He's pretty young, right?
He's real young still. Yeah, they got quite a while before that's going to be a thing. But you know that Junior's already grooming him.
Right. Yeah, that makes some sense. Who knows what the league will be like when he's of age, but we'll see. What else you got on the 8 balls?
So we got Speak Senior. He's the leader of their team. Doesn't offer a whole lot at the plate. Except for he's got a great eye. He's definitely up there in walks every year. He is getting up there in age, and his stuff is not as unhittable as the pitching's balanced out in the league. But he's still a force to be reckoned with on the mound, and he's still tough to hit. I know he strikes me out every year. He's got the face of a 35-year-old still. Doesn't look his age at all. And the rumor mill actually about Speak Senior is for the national tournament. I've heard some whispers that Blake Voris, the newly appointed manager of the national team, is considering cutting Senior this year in favor of some younger arms. So that might be something to watch as the season goes on.
Hey, I had no part in this. My lawyers had me fully protected. I'm not involved in this potential scandal at all. That said, that's an interesting thing. Just saying right now, it sort of reminds me a little bit when the Pacers were super hot chasing a 1 seed and pushed Danny Granger out for Andrew Bynum and Evan Turner and everybody in the moment, even the Danny Granger people in the moment were like, oh, they could work Andrew Bynum. And in hindsight, it kind of showed that just chasing talent doesn't necessarily mean victories, and sometimes veteran leadership and presence and maturity are certainly key to a team's success, even if it doesn't show up on stat sheets. So Blake, despite all his good looks, is certainly going to have some very tough decisions to make. And if Speak Senior catches word of it without proper communication, this could get a little messy. But
hey, I know that you've been playing wiffle ball for longer than I've been alive, but I'm thinking about cutting you from the team regardless of what you have to offer knowledge-wise and experience-wise. I don't know, it'll be interesting to see if it causes any other rifts in the league too.
Wow. I do think we are coming up at about 12 or 13 minutes in. Do you have anything else you want to add on the 8 balls? Are you ready to move on to Mount Rushmore?
Well, we got to dive into their best player, the reigning MVP, Mike Jr. I mean, he is best pitcher in the league, one of the best pitchers in the nation. He proved that against going balls to the wall against Skibby in the national tournament, where heartbreaking loss. He's got an underrated bat. He's pretty good. I know in that national tournament too, he came in and pieced a couple real good pitchers. So I think the whole thing with him is it kind of reminds me of like him and Senior. It kind of reminds me of like when you're watching the NFL draft and they're talking about the dad who played 15 years in the league as the role player and like was never the star, and then he's got
Curry.
Yes, exactly. And then Steph rolls up, and Steph is one of the best players in the league, and he just like takes it by storm. It just their whole situation kind of reminds me of that. Which I also want to say about Junior, I'm kind of like knockoff Junior, like Kmart version of Junior. We both like the Cubs, both got the scruff,
Dark hair,
got the chains, dark hair. And then the only difference is like he's married with kids and like actually good at wiffle ball.
Yeah, finding love, that's overrated.
Yeah.
You know, good for him on that. But yeah, that's a full comparison right there. But not to flatter you too much, but you are probably one of the more underrated players in the league. Also, breaking news, just got an Instagram message from your girl Morgan. Okay, so on my story, so my Instagram got hacked for everybody who's listening at home. And I posted, you know how you have to do that post where it's like, sorry, I got hacked, just in case your mom saw a picture of like something bad. So I did that post. I made a little joke. I said, if you got something inappropriate from me, there's a 93% chance that it was me. And this girl replied and said, that means there's a 7% chance it was just actually Keegan. So very accurate to describe how me and Keegan's friendship operates. We don't necessarily need to talk about what that might be referring to, but fun little live update for you there.
Yeah, that's good times. Good times back in Mishawaka. My final prediction for the 8 balls is just going to be I think that they're still definitely the favorites of the league. I think they're the favorites to bring the championship back again. So it's going to take somebody knocking off Junior and Connor Morris having a real regression at the plate in order for them not to be in the mix of things again this year.
Yeah, you certainly see in the national tournaments that we've gone to, pitching is king, and they've had the best pitching staff, most consistent pitching staff over the years. So certainly a favorite to win it all. You ready for Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, let's ride into it.
So Mount Rushmore, if you guys don't know, we're not being very original here. It's a part of my take staple, kind of making fun of all the Mount Rushmore debates that you get in sports. Today, what we're going to do is the Mount Rushmore of things we miss the most about wiffle ball.
This was a blast to make.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to take it. You can focus on people, things, moments, feelings. It doesn't matter kind of how you go. So there's lots of possibilities. I figured I don't think snake draft is necessary with 2 people.
No, not with 2 people.
Back and forth.
I'll let you start. You know.
Say what?
I'll let you go ahead and start. You can take first pick.
The same thing, but thanks for kind of I'll go with number 1. This is one, maybe it's a little more personal for me, but I'm going to go with scrolling Twitter with a cold beer in your hand right after you struck out. I'm sure Everybody's been there, especially
You throw the bat, you throw the bat, you grab your phone, you see if anybody's texted you. Most of the time it's not, so then you automatically defer to Twitter, and it's like, well, shit, like, what else can I do?
Exactly. You show your teammates that you're upset about it, but really it's just like, well, what was I supposed to do? And you pick up that beer, and you're just scrolling through some tweets. The sun's kind of blasting down on your phone, so it's kind of got a weird glare on it. That's a feeling that I certainly felt, 7 to 9 times every series. So that one definitely came at the top of my list.
That's a good one. For my first pick, I'm going to go with Brendan yelling at Aiden and inevitably making him cry during the season. It happens every year. Aiden will have a mental breakdown. We'll be in a close game. It'll probably be against like the 8 balls or the moonshots or something. And Aiden just won't be able to find the board at all. Can't pitch. Brendan's going to get in his head and make him cry. And it's going to be hard not to laugh because I'm just going to think back to this.
Yeah, Brendan with emotional abuse is just one of the staples of Circle City. Usually maybe most prominent in the 2 hours leading up to the All-Star game. That's always when he's in one of the most interesting moods. But yeah, he works very hard for the league. Let's not pretend that.
I mean, yeah, there's a reason that he's getting up there in national boards and stuff for Wiffle, and they're now bringing the national tournament to Indy. I mean, he's very dedicated. He knows what he's doing, knows how to run a tight ship. Aiden just gets the brunt of the frustration.
Right. Yeah, absolutely with you on there. My second pick, there's one person I have in mind. I'm going to go with talking about Pat McAfee or whatever XYZ celebrity as if there's actually a chance they're going to show up to the All-Star game.
Okay.
It happens every year. Every year, oh, Pat McAfee, he's coming to the All-Star game. Like, I really think we could reach out. So have we not learned that it's not happening? I'm just saying,
I haven't learned. I'm going to do it right now.
Yeah.
Joey Mulinaro.
Every year, we always convince
he was the MC. He was the MC last year of the All-Star game. Did an awesome job. Dude is blown up over Twitter in the last 4 or 5 months and has over 250,000 followers. I would, if travel is allowed, I'm just saying I wouldn't be completely surprised if Brendan could talk him into coming and being at the Dirtyard for the All-Star game.
So weirdly enough, I guess you could say Circle City builds celebrities, not get celebrities after they become one. Mulinaro, I think maybe has outgrown wiffle ball leagues maybe a little bit, but
hear me out. So Mulinaro, not only is he going to come, Big Cat PFT, they get wind of this podcast, and they're going to be like, oh shit, well we need to go meet these guys. They're like knockoff Kmart versions of us.
Yeah, exactly.
So they come out. So now we've got Big Cat, we've got PFT, and we've got Mulinaro. Imagine the crowd.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't see how that isn't 100% realistic. I don't disagree with any of your logic there.
I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying I give it 45%.
Okay, that might be the same number of viewers we get for this podcast, but nice optimism there. I'll say that. I think you're up for your second pick. If you want to go.
Second pick. I'm gonna go with blasting some country music and cracking open an ice cold beer on the party deck.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely great. I wasn't around playing in the league when the party deck was built. I've been on it a couple times. It's a great view. I had something on my list about music as well, but that's a safe, easy pick. But you can't judge or disagree with it because it's fun.
It's just such a good time. You just get to kick back, chill, forget about the worries, watch probably a team get blown out, but hopefully not. But get to just chill, watch, and drink. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, no, absolutely love that pick. For my third, I'm going to go with I really miss the 20-to-1 male-female ratio at all times. at the Dirtyard. It's a staple of the league, certainly. And you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself if you haven't been in the Dirtyard field and you know how you can see people walking up from a pretty far distance with the straight angle. When you realize there's actually a girl walking up and you're like, whoa, like, who is this? Is she
And it's probably Gregory's girlfriend at the time.
Yeah, it's
like,
somebody's girlfriend. Or
some random.
Yeah, or she gets closer and you're like, oh, shoot, like, she's 12 or whatever.
Oh, yikes. Big yikes.
Hey, no. I'm talking like when you see someone from 200 feet away and you can't tell, and then they get closer, they're older or younger than you had initially paid.
Yeah, I'm going to let you dig yourself out of that hole. I'm going to
hold on.
abstain from comment on that one.
Well, hey, it's been a long podcast. I'm sure Brennan will now edit that to the first 30 seconds of this before the intro. But it is what it is. But certainly the amount of dudes that participate in Wiffle compared to females is drastic. And I don't know, some feminist groups might have to come after us.
Yeah, I know the Pork Pistols, they bring a good crew. I mean, they're a good time. So you haven't been able to meet them yet. They've pretty much doubled the amount of women that show up to the Dirtyard every summer. So it's from about 2 to 4.
You think it's my joke, man. Yeah. I've heard great things about Pork Pistols. I've heard they're a fun bunch and have really bumped the league, and maybe in terms of entertainment and enjoyment. We certainly have a fair amount of boring people in the league. I think we're going to talk about that team here in a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Spoiler alert, Yakkers.
Who's up? Is it me or you?
I'm up. Have you done 3?
Yeah, my third one was male female, so go ahead.
Okay, so my third one, I'm going to go with another safe pick, but there's no arguing with it. It's the All-Star game. You get a great crowd. You get a fun game. You get to raise money for an awesome cause. You get to constantly drink. I get blacked out every year. And then you get fireworks to cap it all off, and it's just an awesome time raising money for an awesome cause. So,
yeah, nothing like getting blacked out at an event for families.
Yeah, absolutely. And last year will be known as the Pickleback All-Star Game, and we will look to not repeat that ever again.
I'm not sure. Oh, so I have very little memory of last year's football game, as I was dealing with the toothache post wisdom teeth removal. Not my most enjoyable evening, that's for sure. But what's Pickleback? I don't know what that is. I forget
it's a shot of Jameson chased with pickle juice.
That has Keith Dudas written all over it, what you just said.
I don't know Keith's opinion. One of the Pork Pistols, I think it was Adam Ellis, got everybody on it after when we went to Behringer's, the bar, for the party. And we all just went nuts with it. And, yeah, like I said, blacked out. The rest is written. So there have been better times, and the goal is to make it something other than picklebacks this year.
Fantastic. I love it. Is it we up to pick number 4?
Pick 4. Final pick.
This is a pretty specific one. Maybe this is something that only relates to me, but it pops every time I'm in the dirt yard. It comes to my mind with every time I look at the neighbors with the chicken coop and their whole setup. I believe they're Burmese, and I just miss pondering what the heck they think about all of this.
Oh, dude,
I've never heard one of them speak. I've never had a conversation with one of them.
They absolutely love it.
And just be thinking, what in the world's going on? I just miss thinking about what they're thinking about us. I mean, that's specific.
The man built a chicken coop in a day and a half in his backyard with his bare hands. Like, he probably looks at it and thinks, shit, like, you give me 10 years, I'll have you a whole stadium built. Like,
yeah. I mean, you compare the dirt yard to the chicken coop, give me the chicken coop all day. In terms of architectural design, chicken
I'm
coop.
just saying the Speaks need to look into hiring that guy for a mirror fence. Just look into it. It's worth it.
Or maybe he'd be an upgrade at their coaching position.
Oh. Low blows.
I couldn't help myself with that one. I wasn't even in the league last year. I'm just firing shots from 3 hours away.
All right. Pick 4.
I think it's you.
Final pick.
Final pick. Go ahead.
I'll do a final pick, and then we can go. I got a couple other like honorable mentions I wanted to mention too.
Oh, yeah.
So, final pick has got to be Dakota Coco Rogers showing up 2 random weeks, taking BP, talking about how he's the best player to ever play wiffle ball that's ever walked on the face of the planet. Like I said, it happens 2 random weeks every year. Like, he'll come, he'll be like, "Who's gonna sign me? Haha, just kidding. I'm not playing." And then
I'm too busy selling trucks at Chevrolet.
I think, I can't remember who
I
he works
swear,
for.
I just think he was a car dealer.
It's Ray Skillman. It's Ray Skillman. But yeah, like he'll come. I mean, and Dakota he's one of the best hitters that's ever played at Circle City. But I'm like, all right, dude, nut up and sign back with the team then. Like, I think he's afraid of the new pitching. I think he doesn't want to face it. So he's just going to retire right out into the sunset, claiming that he's one of the best players without having to face the best talent, you know?
Yeah. He likes the status, but he's not really into proving the status, I guess.
Yep. Mm-hmm. What honorable mentions do you have?
One that just popped into my head, kind of going off the All-Star game, that's why I didn't draft it, but I missed the weird high school reunion that happens. There's always just like this weird Paramedian get-together of teachers and students that's like never happens anywhere else.
That's awesome, though. It's awesome that it's able to bring the community together and to support something cool.
Other ones, when a pitcher throws 10 balls in a row, doesn't matter if you're in the outfield, you're the pitcher, you're just kind of sitting there like, am I really playing a wiffle ball league? Should I be working in a soup kitchen instead? What is this? Should we just like do a mercy rule thing? So the 10 balls in a row thing.
You always like kind of feel bad when
you feel bad for the pitcher as they're kind of melting down.
Because you could see the players in the outfield that the pitcher's not really seeing, just like, are you effing kidding me? Like,
yeah,
just the body language out the window. Yeah.
Yeah. My last honorable mention was going to be bad players or non-players asking insistently for BP.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Hey,
let me get
Spencer Schreiner, I'm calling you out, bub. We're talking about you.
Or I guess if you wanted to tack onto it, like semi-good players asking for BP to try to show off to whoever XYZ that doesn't care and is not going to watch them take BP or whatever. The whole BP world is something I miss. Or the pitcher in BP that is not throwing you BP but working on their pitches so you actually get 0 hits.
You can't touch it.
Brendan is the king of that. I'll be like, I haven't hit in 8 months. Can you throw me some softballs? And it's just like curveball time. And, I don't get any hits. But
well, in his defense, you don't get many hits anyway. So
yeah, you're not wrong. Honorable mentions for you?
Yeah, so I've got along the lines of like Brendan breakdowns, the first time that Tristan and Kevin show up to the field and get yelled at 5 minutes later for harassing players to go throw a football or play catch with them.
It's inevitable. There's going to be a point they might be playing in the league. Can you imagine that?
Definitely going to be a point that's going to be a blast to see. I've got Tris over Kevin, no doubt. Kid's a natural. I've also got Keith unnecessarily riding the tractor out to the field.
That's a good one.
Just cold beer in his hand, riding the tractor out to the field and just chilling shirtless, watching the games with us.
Yeah, where's he going with that tractor probably goes through my head like 3 or 4 times a day.
And then I've got safe one is hitting home run. There's hitting your first home run. No better.
Oh, yeah, the rush of adrenaline, the endorphins kick in. It's incredible.
You want to get it and you just like want to double flip off the pitcher and be like, can't touch me, and then like your next at bat you inevitably strike out. Or
to tack onto that feeling when you hit a home run and you really want to slow trot around the bases but you can't. You have to go sit down on the bench because that's what you do, but like you really want to run the bases as slow as you can to just soak it in.
And like only, and you know that if you do that, you're just the biggest douche in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
And then a couple other random small ones were Port Pistols trash talking, blast to listen to. The Leffler Dudas altercation last year was just absolutely perfect. And then the return of a Circle City legend, Austin Church, back to the field.
Yeah, the king of foul balls, man. He's
I mean, yeah, he's
a gamer and
15,
he's a
20
winner.
in that yard next door.
Yeah, he's probably killed a couple of chickens with some of the whips he puts into that fence area over there with the neighbors.
Let me tell you what I don't miss about wiffle ball. Zach McFarland's umping. we need to figure out an umping situation.
You guys have umps now?
It's not just Zach. It's kind of everybody. Well, we ump and we suck at it. So we need to try to figure out a solution to that.
Wait, well, hold up. You have like umps behind the plate now?
No, it's still the K zone, but like for ground balls and stuff, beating out.
Like the guy who's like watching near first base that makes calls.
Right, who's like most of the time just like sipping beer and not paying much of attention anyway. Like, honestly, I'm going to take executive decision. I have no say whatsoever, but I'm going to make a call for the commissioner right now. Cody House, all-time ump. Every game, even game. He's just stand-up dude. He's it. He's the new ump. Congrats.
Hey, it's a good idea. Can't feel like it's a lot of time for that man. There have to be some kind of incentive, maybe a B-Dubs gift card in there or something, to make sure that he's properly taken care of if he's going to put in that extra time. But
I think that's fair.
Love Cody House, good guy.
Love House. All right, well, we can move on to the Yakkers team preview now.
Yeah, I was going to say, excite me, because I don't see a lot of excitement here with the Yakkers. So what do you got?
There's nothing. Their team is made up of a leprechaun, a Jack Doyle lookalike, and somebody who's blind. That's no joke. That's dead serious.
Yeah, when I look at this team, I see a team that hydrates the day before a series.
Absolutely.
Like, actually hydrates.
I mean, they're building their own K zones and garage. Like, it's a lot. Also, like, has anybody like asked Rudy where the pot of gold is? I mean, simply put, like, we could use that gold to maybe find a cure for COVID. So it's really selfish of him to not share it with everybody.
Good Lord. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be the guy that asks him about that, but someone definitely should probably pay him a visit here soon.
So, fun fact.
There are other players. Who are they?
Okay, so I was going to say, I have absolutely zero idea how they made a championship. They played the 8 balls in the championship last year.
They made the championship?
Have no clue how. Absolutely zero idea how. Rudy
man. Yeah, that's not good for the league.
Their roster is Dustin Dowden. He is apparently an Anderson pitcher. He's a new guy. I don't know. My choir teacher went to Anderson. She's kind of cool. So maybe he'll be a cool guy. I don't know. They've got Alex Certain. He was on the team. He's the guy who looks like Jack Doyle. He's a lefty, I think, ? Like, other than that, I could tell you literally nothing else about him. He also has Dave Bailey. That's the blind guy. He's like partially blind, which still hell of an accomplishment. He like figured stuff out at the end of the year. He's a solid pitcher. He's got some speed, got some good break on his pitches. Struck me out several times when I played him. So I don't know what that says about me, the fact that the blind pitcher struck me out several times. But like he started to figure it out. So if he can continue to pick up where he left off, like that'll be a good thing for their team because they'll have 2 solid pitchers in him and Rudy. They've also got a dude named Matt Neese. I regret to inform that Matt Neese has apparently been in the league 2 years, and I can't picture him. I don't know what he looks like. So I'm going to have to look off my notes. He's got no power whatsoever. as a hitter. But his OBP wasn't terrible last year, so he gets on base. He made a nice step from year 1 to year 2. And if they want any chance of the championship again, he's going to have to make another nice step up. They've also got this dude named Brenton Fowler. And shocker, he's another guy that's been in the league multiple years that I couldn't point out in a lineup.
Pick out of the hat.
Yeah. It's just Rudy. I think he literally could have sent me 5 random names, and I would have had just as much knowledge on those people as I do on his team.
Zero clue. Keegan, I hate to cut you off. Just a technical thing here. Brendan, if you're listening, can you send a quick message? Are we closing in on?
We have no time limit.
Oh, there's no time. Okay.
No time. We're good.
Okay, we can edit that out. Keegan, go ahead with your Yakker stuff.
Yeah, and then their last player other than Rudy is Ryan Vogus. He's a GBL guy that we met up in Morenci, Michigan for the national tournament, and real good guy. He's crushed the hearts of Circle City multiple times on some walk-offs up at the national tournament, and he signed on as a part-time player for Rudy's team. So if he plays, then he'll make a big difference.
Game changer.
Yeah, but who knows how often he'll actually play.
Right.
And then now getting to Rudy, Rudy's the only reason why their team is remotely competitive whatsoever. I just I can't get over the fact that he looks like a leprechaun, but he's a good wiffle ball player, one of the best players in the league. He contended for the MVP last year.
Great Twitter account too.
Well, debatable. So that's my big knock on Rudy is his character. We've got to question Rudy's character. Why why you ask that because you're like, oh, Rudy is so dedicated to the league. He's like the number 2. He helps Brendan with everything. He does podcasts. Here's why we have to question Rudy's character.
Is he pining to supplant Brendan? Game of Thrones-esque.
That's a good point. My issue more
watch your head, Dudas.
With the fact that he's a contrarian. He came out, doesn't like Game of Thrones. I don't trust anybody who doesn't like Game of Thrones. Can't be trusted. And then doesn't like video games. What in the hell is he doing during quarantine if he doesn't like video games? Oh, I'll tell you. He's getting work in on that K-Zone in his garage.
I tell you, time has flown by so fast since I started playing 2K. There isn't enough time in the day.
Don't tell Rudy that.
It's a great quarantine activity, and it's healthy for you.
I mean, yeah, you think about it. I mean, you're putting in work every day. It's dedication. You're showing how dedicated you are to improving.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
commitment to something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I mean, in all seriousness, Rudy, really good guy, one of the best guys in Circle City, helps out a ton with the league. He's going to contend for the MVP again. He's one of the top 5 pitchers in the league. He's a top 5 bat in the league, top 5, top 10 bat in the league. He's the only reason that the Yakkers have any business sniffing the playoffs, let alone the championship. So their team will go as far as he leads them. So
maybe not as much for me that I had on the 8 balls. I mean, my questions really were things that we maybe even addressed already. My first question was going to be: is the boringness a factor? Is there any way they can be more exciting? I guess that new player from that other league would be their one golden hope of excitement, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, that were I don't know, they could talk more trash, I guess. I don't know. I'm cool with that. I mean, I don't really know how else you could bring more excitement. I mean, like I said, I need to picture these guys first. I'm going to have to Facebook stalk them.
Yeah, I'm talking about people that I really have never met here. So shooting from the hip a little bit.
Yeah, me too, apparently. So.
Anything else on the Yakkers?
No, my prediction is they severely regress and are going to get swept over by more of the teams that evened out. So, like, the Shorts are going to get Dudas back. They got me. And then the Moonshots, they got Smithy and Reed pitching for them now. Pork Pistols are entering their second year. Listening to Thomas's podcast, it sounds like he has figured things out a little bit more, and the 8 balls are obviously going to be concerned. I think that they're going to get kind of swept under the rug by the new acquisitions of some of these other teams.
Yeah. The league has just changes in personnel, performance guys coming out of shape. To see the Yakkers come back in the title game, the 8 balls, I can see it. The Yakkers, I just don't know. That said, I think we're about 45 minutes deep into this. That's what she said.
But
I did not plan that.
Not to us, because we're single, but to like the people who are quarantining with their significant others.
Yeah, that actually have human comfort to get through it. That said, I'm down 2 to the San Antonio Spurs right now at halftime, and I know both of us want to get on runs here. I do want to give a special offer. This just came top of my dome. If you are still somehow listening to the end of this podcast right now, the first person who messages me on some form of social media after they hear this, I will Venmo you $5, because I don't know if Keegan wants to hop in this too.
I'm in there. Yep.
If you message me and say, I want my $5, heard it on the podcast, you actually listen to the far end of this.
You don't know. To me, you have to say.
Brendan Dudas does not count.
Brendan doesn't count. You have to tell me, wow, that was an awesome podcast. You are great. And then just let me know what your Venmo is. You get $5.
Do we want to throw in, like, say one thing you like that we said so that we know they listen to it, or is that too strict?
No. I think we're good.
Okay. Yeah, just you send me a message.
Josh's winner is my winner.
Yeah. No double winners. It's got to be a different person. First person, not Brendan. The 3 of us, no one's gonna spoil or reveal it to a friend on the DL. You message me, I'll Venmo you $5. Happy quarantine. A little bump for me, not $1,200, but a little something for you there.
Yep. Stimulus Venmo from us.
Stimulus Venmo. I like it. That said, I'm ready to peace out. Keegan, any last words?
Nope. Just stay safe, stay quarantined, and be smart out there.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a good afternoon.
I can't wait to get back on the road again. Back again. Dude, like for the baggers. Back home again. In Indiana land.